I wanted to touch, just go back to slightly what we were talking about Birmingham having an interesting cultural mix and unique geographical location and things like this. But it made me also think about when you said that we also need to think outside Birmingham in terms of things. It made me think, maybe, I mean, when I set up a magazine called Blowback, and I've still got the T-shirt, that's it. And the one thing that we thought about when we were setting it up was the one thing that unites people outside London is being outside London. So I was wondering if you could sort of get the whole country to sort of, you know, balance itself off against London.
Again, I think that I think there's a real value in trying to work out what it is that makes it different from a city like London. Particularly when I was in Manchester for 3 years, that has such a strong cultural identity there, and that's really sort of embodied in the businesses and the creative enterprises that I saw when I was living there. But I do think you shouldn't be too worried about comparing yourself to London, because you're going to get bogged down with this sort of idea that there's somewhere better that you have to try and be like. You know, you've got to do it in the city that you are and create something that you can there, not be too worried maybe about having to sort of like hold this other place up on a plinth, and that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it just feels so parochial all the time when we talk about the West Midlands and being in Birmingham. The only reason why my business is in Birmingham is because I came to uni here, got some good contacts, built out as a network, you know, and it was just the obvious place to have a business. It also helps that, you know, there are some great people out there from Business Link and the council who support you, give me free business advice. You know, I've got a business planning day tomorrow, all day, to focus on my business, and as a small business, that's really, really vital to me, you know, to have that. But you know, increasingly as new business models emerge as well, I don't think it's about where one business is based. I think, you know, look at the way businesses now are developing and merging. You'll quite often have 2 or 3 businesses or people from businesses coming together to form a new product or a new business, and I don't think it matters where they're based geographically at all. I think it's more about their ideas and their own networks and what they bring to it. So I really hope that we'll see a kind of, we'll still have that cultural pride and this kind of sense of I'm from Manchester, I'm from Birmingham. I don't think that will ever go away, but in terms of business, I would hope that we'll actually see a far more kind of interesting fusion of people's contacts and networks across cities and across, you know, internationally as well. There's no reason why that can't happen. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever about competing with London. I mean, I have to be in London literally every week now for my work. I actually love going to meetings and they say, no, what do you do? I edit a magazine, blah, 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 blah. And they go, like, where are you from? I go, Birmingham. Do you know, I say it with pride, so like, oh, they're quite shocked because I actually think that there's not a lot that happens in Birmingham. And it's really, really good. And I think that what it is that we need to take, obviously, you know, the best from each city and the opportunities, build our own economy here, and like both the other speakers have said, you know, focus on our city and, you know, what we can pinch, so to speak, from other cities and things like that. Why not? But I don't think it's ever been about Birmingham versus London or anything like that. Actually, it will always be the powerhouse, and it's always going to be the capital, but we could also come close as a second city. So
yeah, I'm
all up for creating this network.
It's funny, that's how we stopped saying that after we realised all the advertisers were in London. It was just like, okay. Yeah, it's quite. Also, when you were talking about taking it to South by Southwest, is it easier to take something like an idea like a city, or taking a region like the West Midlands? Because I can't imagine many Americans know.
No, it's funny when you're American, isn't it? No one knows anything other than London. It's like whenever I go abroad, I get in a taxi and they're, where are you from? I just say London.
Yeah.
Because you say Birmingham, they're like, Birmingham. You're there for ages.
Alabama.
So, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, I wasn't actually involved in the whole. AWM had a stand at South by Southwest that was there to promote the West Midlands region. But what's interesting is, no, it doesn't mean anything to anybody else. So they don't care where you're from. They don't care what region you live in. They care what your ideas are. And I think that's where, you know, you'd hope things will develop. Is that it doesn't matter that you're based in Birmingham. You know, it doesn't matter that your business is here. We're all really proud of it. And you know, as a company, we work for lots of businesses who promote the region and what they do. And I'm, you know, if there's any kind of social aspect of what we do, it's that I'm really fiercely proud of the region. I'll continue to promote it. But in terms of businesses abroad, you know, new markets overseas, they don't care that the business is based in Birmingham. They just care that they've got great ideas, they're doing something innovative, and they want to work with those people. So.
Yeah, I mean the cities that people speak of as great sort of, you know, cities of industry have done that because the people who live within them have gone out and created something brilliant, you know, so it's the responsibility of everyone to try and make that so that you can be claimed to be one of the people that's put Birmingham on the map, I suppose.
Great. On that note, thank you very much. Thanks,